Kyle! Why did you have to go? Damn you, DC! Always taking the good characters. You're not gonna take them. You didn't have to kill him, DC. You didn't have to... What? You still alive? I really wish I hadn't recorded this. Hi, I'm Jason Inman, and I love to read comic books. That's why in the week of October 30th, I read all the DC New 52 comic books that were published in the world. I'm going to give each of these a buy it, borrow it from a friend, or skip it rating. Before I get into that, don't forget to go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where they know that you love comic books, and we do too. Now enough of this idiotic jibba jabba and mourning for Green Lanterns that aren't dead. Let's get on to some reviews. Action Comics Annual number 2. There's a lot to like in this book. Krypton has a brand new look. It doesn't look quite like the Richard Donner movies. It doesn't look quite like the Zack Snyder movies. It's got like a little bit of a hybrid mix, a little bit of techno-organic going on, and it looks great. Faora from Man of Steel shows up, and that's awesome because she was an awesome character, but you have to wonder, is she Ursa? Is she Ursa? Who knows? But she's Faora, and she rocks. The only problem with this book is it's a little bit too convenient. It's too convenient that the 3 Superman characters, Superboy, Supergirl, Superman, no Super Dog this time, or Super Beepo, Super Monkey, just those 3 get pulled and whacked to Krypton just because of this character called the Oracle. It's a little bit too convenient, and the book in some cases does scream as that it should have been a 6-issue miniseries instead of being compressed into like 4 issues. I believe this is gonna be a 4-issue because there's just a lot of just like, oh, we're gonna go here, oh, we're gonna go here, oh, we're gonna go here now. Why? Just because a character tells you to. There's no explanation for it, which I think this book really needs. But the thing that this book does get right is the distinct voices between Superman, Superboy, and Supergirl. Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. And it does a really good job of giving us the young, brash Superman who's still the leader, the Superboy who doesn't know what he's doing, and the Supergirl who's just a total, like, just... I mean, she's just annoying sometimes, and you know, you can just see how she crawls right up Superman's underwear that doesn't exist there anymore. Anyways, this is a great start to the storyline. I'm very interested with the different time-traveling period things that are going on, so I would say this is a buy it. Aquaman Annual number 1. The Others. Aquaman's not as cool as the Justice League group who steals objects from sea creatures. Is a cool idea. When they're not a cool idea is when they're used too much, like in this annual. They are the basis for this entire annual, and it makes them boring. It makes them stupid. Plus, the art is horrible in this book. Bad. Plus, when you have Aquaman fighting a character from Arthurian legend, you have to wonder why Morgan Le Fay is in the ocean, and it just doesn't work. This is a major skip it. Damian, Son of Batman number 1. You gotta give Andy Kubert credit. He has amazing art, and he doesn't waste any time as he kills Batman by page 5. Batman dies in page 5. Major spoilers here, because this is about Damian becoming the future Batman that we saw in Batman number 6666. Not as many sixes as I wanted to say. By Grant Morrison. You know, the dialogue's a little rough. It's very rough in this book. And the plot is very simple. It's just very much Batman dies and Damian's like, well, I gotta avenge him. Here I go, Alfred. This is my Damian impression. Watch out, I got a sword. Here I go, stabbity stabbity, McStab. He doesn't McStabbity. That's the secret ninja move of the League of Assassins. When you learn the McStab, you graduate and you become Ra's al Ghul's personal guard, the McStab. But you know what? This is Damian. I've always liked Damian. I like the idea that there is a half Ra's al Ghul, half Batman out there, and that he is just the super ninja badass. And this book totally works because he starts going through the villains gallery of Batman and just starts killing them because he thinks that he doesn't know who killed his father because he's not a detective. And so it works. And Andy Kubert's art is amazing, but here's the thing. This is what I say. Give Andy Kubert a Damian as Batman of the Future book, but let's have it written by somebody else. I would buy that ongoing, but this book is fun. Buy it. Forever Evil Argus number 1. I like the idea of Argus. Argus is a smart idea. It needs to be S.H.I.E.L.D. for the DC Universe. But you know what? They haven't quite pulled it off. Steve Trevor gets put in charge of Argus. We get to see the Wonder Woman 52 origin where, you know, he crashes on her island and she sort of saves him. She's got a miniskirt. It looks kind of cool. But here's the thing. President Obama, who is in this book, who guest starring the president, Forever Evil Argus. That is what should have been on the cover. Guest starring President Obama, you sons of bitches. That's also what should have been on the cover. I would have, you know what? You put guest starring the president, you sons of bitches, I'm buying that book. Even if it's something from Blue Water. Have you seen those books? Woo! Oh, anyways, Forever Evil Argus. Doesn't quite pull it off. You don't know why? Because they try to put Steve Trevor in charge of Argus. But this entire book and almost every New 52 appearance of Steve Trevor, he's just been whining. He just whines. He's just like, oh, Diana's not with me anymore. Oh, look, Diana's with Superman. Oh, but Superman doesn't have black hair. And you're Stephanie. Oh, what, President Obama? I'm supposed to be in charge of a super society? Well, I'm going to pop you in the mouth, President. Oh, I'm sorry. You're my commanding officer. Oh, I wish I was this Wonder Woman. That's what this entire book screams as. That's what anything with Argus screams like, and that's why I don't like it. Skip it. Green Lantern Annual number 2. I really didn't like the lights out storyline. Oh, come on! Just because I say lights out doesn't mean you turn the lights out. Put the lights on! Thank you. You know I'm gonna fire you after Christmas, right? Oh, come on! Lights up! Sorry, Tim. Sorry. Anyways, I like the lights out ending, but not the lights out storyline. Relic became a real character in this final book. You find out that he's a scientist and that the emotional spectrum, all the lanterns are sucking the energy out of the universe, and that's what causes the Big Bang. Kind of fascinating, right? Interesting that we didn't learn this until the very last part of the storyline, right? Yeah, I know. Basically, Kyle Rayner sacrifices himself, pushes Relic into the source wall where he gets stuck and does a creepy pose like all the other people of the source wall. They're really like, there's your still frame right there. Still frame this right now, and you get to have a really nice picture of me that you can put on any Christmas cards. Ready? There you go. And that's what Relic looks like in the source wall. And so everybody thinks that Kyle Rayner is dead. And then at the end of the book, you find out that Kyle Rayner isn't dead, and that the Blue Guardians are going to hide Kyle Rayner. The universe must think he's dead, and his real journey must begin. This is point for point, let's kill him. No, let's not kill him. Let's kill him. No, let's not kill him. That makes comic fans believe that death has no consequences. I like Kyle Rayner. I like him a lot. But if they wanted this to have power, they should have just killed him. They should have just killed Kyle Rayner outright. I would have missed the guy because I like the little lug. But you know what? I'd rather a story have consequence and power than just be fluff. So this is just a borrow it from a friend because there's some interesting ideas. And it would have been a skip it if it was all about Kyle's death, but it's still a borrow from a friend. Nightwing Annual number 1. This was an almost good issue of Nightwing, and I say almost because it was all about Babs and Nightwing and their relationship, and will they get back together, will they won't, and Dick's moving to Chicago, and Barbara's not wearing her Batgirl costume, she wants to dress in black. And the thing that ruins this is because it's such a predictable turn that Firefly's in the storyline, right? And Garfield Lynn's Firefly, of course, but then we find out that Garfield Lynn's dead, and it's some other random guy. Why? Because DC editorial said that you can't know who Firefly is, and that's got to be mystery, even though you see it coming from page 1. And we just didn't make Firefly Garfield Lynn's because DC just knew that you knew it was Garfield Lynn's. They know that you don't like Garfield Lynn's, and they know that you don't like anybody named Garfield unless you're named Jim Davis. That's right. So this could have been a good issue. Had a lot of flair of a Chuck Dixon story, the classic Nightwing run. But other than that, this is a major skip it. Swamp Thing Annual number 2. The thing I love about this book is that essentially I'm reading a book about a giant walking, talking plant, and I like it. And I don't even like botany, or plants, or gardening for most of the reason, or anything on the Discovery Channel. Well, I'll take that back. I like Planet Earth and that kind of stuff. But anything to do with plants, basically, there's a giant plant that looks like a human. He's walking and talking, and I can't get enough. I'm buying every trade. I don't care. I'm like, give me more of this green guy. Let's have a movie. Let's have a bad 1989 TV show. Let's do that, too. Let's have the folds in the mouth. Basically, Jason Woodrue is challenging Swamp Thing's position in the Parliament of the Trees, and Swamp Thing is in the Parliament of the Trees, and he's training from other people, other Swamp Things, and there's distinct personalities by Charles Soule. I believe that's how you say your name, sir. Make this book work. It's so weird and interesting that I just don't care. I like it so much. Buy it. Teen Titans Annual number 2. This book is so convoluted that it reminds me a lot of the X-Men, because the X-Men are always convoluted. But there's good ideas here. There's a lot of really cool ideas here. Like Tim Drake and Cassie and Superboy travel to the future, and they learn about this evil future. They meet with the new Beast Boy, and they learn about the other Superboy, who is the son of Lois and Clark from the future, who's the evil Superboy. And then in this book, we see Superboy get pulled to the Krypton book in Action Comics Annual number 2, and what Beast Boy does is he puts the evil Superboy in our Superboy, Con Superboy's uniform and sends them back with Tim. See how a little bit convoluted, but there's still some good ideas here. There's some good art here. You know, I'm not a big fan of the Teen Titans, so the Teen Titans really have to go over a big hill for me to like them. And I kind of like this book. There's a good moment between Beast Boy and Tim Drake in it. Very good that I don't want to spoil if you read it. So you know what? I'm going to say this is a borrow from a friend. And that's all the DC New 52 comic books of October 30th. As always, go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where they know that you love comic books, and we do too. They just did a podcast on the 5 weapons. If you know anything about the 5 weapons or can count them on one hand, then please go listen to that podcast. As always, leave in the comments below what you like, what you hate about this video, what you want me to review next week. Maybe you would like me to finally review that box of Boo-Berry that's been sitting on the shelf since 1986 in Alberta, Canada, that has been shipped from Manitoba. Maybe you want me to review that. It's a good box. It's a good age. It has a good vintage of cereal. I will tell you that. It's a maybe as a borrow from a friend. So I won't review that now. I can review something else, and you need to tell me what in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching. Please share, like, favorite. Put this on Tumblr. I want to see this video all over Tumblr. I'm on Tumblr. Go check out my Tumblr. It's in the link below. Thank you all for watching. I am Jason Inman. I love comic books. I internet love you, and I want to see some Christmas cards with my face on them in that pose. If I don't, then I'm going to give you another pose like this. Be seeing you.
Oh yeah, when to go to the ultimate albino. You like to kill and that sent paper while you read the row.
All right, everybody, this is for everybody that's after the credits. Me and old Kyle here. This is my favorite Kyle Rayner costume. Got this from a good friend of mine, Jeremy Skinner. He gave me this as a Christmas gift a couple years ago. It's very cool. It's very posable. And I miss this costume. Daryl Banks designed this costume. I don't know if you know who Daryl Banks is. If you don't, you should look him up. You should stop looking at those botany books. And you should get to learn some science. Space science from Kyle Rayner. Making your way in the neighborhood takes everything you got. Something and something about all your worries. You gotta need some booze. Sometimes you gotta find a way. Sometimes you gotta go where everybody knows your name. Boom, 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 and they'll always stay the same. Boom, boom, boom. I am not gonna release this video online at all. I don't know why I am singing this song. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-boo. If you're watching this video right now, I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe I should just vlog. Do you think I should just vlog? Should I just do random fucking vlog videos? Excuse my my sailor mouth, right? Kyle, he's grimacing. See, he doesn't like my sailor mouth. What kind of videos do you want me to see me make? What is my favorite video that I've ever made? And don't say the comic book reviews. I don't want to hear those. I mean, I like them. I say they're good, and I'm glad you watch them. Thank you. But let's hear. I'm curious of my other videos. Go check out my channel. What's my favorite? Should I just sing random TV songs with action figures? I could do that. I could create the TV action song, channel. Kyle in charge of our days and our nights. Do, do, do. How would you like 5-minute videos of this? Happy November. Thanks for watching. I apologize for America. And YouTube. And Canada. Beirut. Belize. Morocco. Venezuela. Palo Alto. And the city that I have offended the most, Kalamazoo. I'm sorry. I'm just making the video longer right now. That's all I'm doing. Making the video longer. Stop that.